right, evening fam. Part 25. Picking up at Revelations chapter 12, verse 11, and we'll continue. Verse 11 reads, "And they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives so much." So people were willing to let go of the Ananias and Sapphira system for the system of equality, which is expressed in the book of Acts. Verse 13, "And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child." Okay, so this is a group of people from all races and all tongues. Problem is, some of them didn't go because it says, two shall be in a bed, two shall be in the field, two shall be at the grinder, one will be taken and one will be left. They liked the concept, but they moved too slow. And so a group went in and a group kind of waited around. And this is the story of the wise and the foolish virgin. John the Baptist of the end time, man-child, says, "Come, let us go out to meet the bridegroom, for he is in the sanctuary." Meaning, come out, let's go out to meet Christ, because he is in his kingdom in the west coast of Africa, Canaan land, under eagle's wings, which fits Ghana, on a land with some particular signs that we're going to get to. I have that right here, trying to work my way towards it. But we'll keep reading. Verse 13. "And when the dragon saw that he was cast out unto the earth," this is via the Exodus, via the people actually going to the area. Test me in this. Bring the tither to the storehouse and see if I will not open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. So they implement the test. Like the book of Daniel says, they start setting up the kingdom according to Melchizedek's protocol of mansions, white robes, a pearl, instruments, and a contract of morality. They implement it. It's a six-year program, and in the seventh year, you receive immortality. But during the 6 years, you may also receive immortality according to your performance, if God is pleased. All right, so verse 14. "And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle." So this will be the portion of Israel that is in the kingdom, or in the country rather, symbolized by one singular eagle. And so those people are going to be helped. It says the woman in verse 4, it says she pains to be delivered. Is it verse 4? No. Verse 2, it says she pains to be delivered. So now we're over in verse 14. And now she's paining to be delivered. John the Baptist is on the scene. He's standing in the wilderness as the first John the Baptist did. The man-child is now standing in the wilderness preaching. Totally different from a pastor in a church. Totally different from a pastor with a college. Spending the tithe and the offering that the people need to relocate to the kingdom, spending it on jets and a college campus, when all he has to do is take the people to Christ so Christ can do the teaching. Because Christ is manifesting. And people they see through the game now. And they use their tithe and offering to go home to Eden. Verse 14. "And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly unto the wilderness." So you were looking for someone with a wilderness theme, not a big church. Why would I spend the money on a church when you need to go home? "And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into her place, fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for time and a times and a half time from the face of the serpent." So you get away from the serpent. A lot of you guys, like Job, are having your marriages destroyed, your friendships destroyed, your children killed, your finances ruined, because you are in a place where the serpent can reach you. And it doesn't matter if you're Asian, Caucasian, African, or a mixture, and you don't even know what you are. Don't matter. If you're not in the portal, the devil can get to you. So now these people get up and they go to a place away from the devil's reach. Okay. I'll read verse 14 again and I'll continue. Verse 14. "And the women were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a time and a times and a half time," which is a 3.5 year period, "from the face of the serpent." That's it. Why is my life failing? Because the demons can reach you. But where the blood has been placed, Not only can the demons not reach you, but the earth and its decree of ashes to ashes and dust to dust is canceled, which is why it says, herein lies a secret, we shall not all sleep. The people who go there, who signed a 6-year contract, we start building mansions, we wear white robes, we sing during the evening, during communion. It's beautiful. Okay? They get away from all the drama. Verse 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Of this serpent is going to be a leader in the country with the woman statue that has a crown of 7 horns. And that particular leader will sit on the throne in the Middle East, in Palestine, in Jerusalem, saying that he is God. And if you research right now, you can find who do the rabbis think is the Antichrist. There's an individual right now in the leadership in America who the rabbis think is the Antichrist, and they are waiting for him to sit in the temple on the throne because he made Jerusalem the capital again. They believe he's the Antichrist, or excuse me, they believe he's the Messiah. But when Jerusalem is reestablished, the Antichrist sits there. But they are waiting for this leader to sit. Thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah. Verse 16. And when the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood. So this guy's going to try, but everybody's going to pretty much realize what's going on, and they're going to help this exodus that Bob Marley sings about. Verse 17, and this is the sad part about those who don't believe there's an exodus and don't want to support it, don't want to participate in it, possibly because they can't eat the communion because the body that the communion represents is from a black man named Canaan, a West Coast African. They can't eat it, but they're going to claim Christianity. Verse 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and he went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Christ. They have the testimony, but they didn't move fast enough. Now, the Exodus causes the crowns. I'll read where the crowns were and where the crowns transition to. The Exodus causes the crowns that are on the sons of Japheth in Europe and their reign. It destroys their reign. So I'll read where they have the crowns, and then I'll read where the crowns are removed. So I'm reading Revelations chapter 12, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. Again, the 7 heads represent the countries that took the Africans out of Africa, and the 10 horns represent the Africans who do give their strength to the beast for an hour. You know, when they were selling their, you know, when I'm thinking is the radical Islamists were battling against people who would not convert to Islam, they started to sell them to the Europeans, and the Europeans were confederate with the radical Islamists to get the people who were actually fighting against the spread of radical Islam. The moderate Islamist, he doesn't want jihad. And the Bible even says that there are those who are not of the law who show the requirement of the law written on their hearts. There are people of other religions who don't even go by Christianity in title, who walk in the love of Christianity, and who will agree with the table of equality, who will enter into the kingdom from another religion ahead of those who call themselves Christians, but they practice the money system of Ananias and Sapphira. People of other religions are going to surpass them because they practice the requirements of love. All right. So the dragon was wroth. He went out to make war against the woman. Now, here's where the crowns transition. In verse 3, they're on the 7. The crowns are on the 7, but they transition to the 10, and I'm going to read it. And verse 13, verse 1. Chapter 13 of Revelations, verse 1. And I stood up on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon the 10 horns were the crowns. So the crowns shifted after the Exodus that Bob Marley sings about. That's how the blacks in Africa get their power back, by performing the Exodus. And the crowns shifted to the 10 horns, and on the 10 horns were the crowns, and upon the heads were names of blasphemy. So with all of the information that is going out, people still refuse to participate in the obviousness of it all. And God writes on them blasphemy. And when they die, they burn.